Today we got two powerful doctors going head to head. Doctor Strange versus Dr. Manhattan. Who wins? Well, let's find out. Dr. Stephen Strange was once a gifted but egotistical surgeon who sought out the Ancient One to heal his hands after they were wounded in a car accident. Instead, the Ancient One trained him to become master of the mystic arts and the Sorcerer Supreme of Earth. Now, being the master of the mystic arts and the Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange is obviously one of the most powerful sorcerers in the world. He uses mystical energy invoked by spells or incantations that allow him to project mystical energy as bolts, slashes, binds, or shields. He can manipulate the forces of the universe, manipulate matter in various forms of energy, and transmute and control elements. Doctor Strange can also open or seal portals to other realms, teleport or travel through dimensions, and he's even demonstrated control over dimensions and reality. He can turn intangible and invisible, project himself into the astral plane, communicate with the dead, manipulate dreams, summon supernatural beings, and he's demonstrated vast mental capabilities like telepathy and telekinesis. Doctor Strange can also channel the virtually limitless power of mystical and non-mystical beings, which has given rise to the saying that Doctor Strange is just as powerful as the god that he invokes. For instance, he's been able to call upon the powers of Sidorak, Agamotto, and Hogif before. He's also quite capable of utilizing black magic, although Strange tends to do so under the most extreme circumstances. Then he also has a formidable arsenal of magical artifacts, most notably the Eye of Agamotto and the Cloak of Levitation. The cloak functions as a sort of third set of hands for Strange, allowing him to entangle opponents, fly, and levitate. It's also virtually indestructible and has shielded him from attacks before. Then the Eye of Agamotto is an artifact with many different uses, such as vastly enhancing his psychic powers, and allows for interdimensional travel, serves as a protective talisman, and is also an irresistible offensive weapon. Then in the other corner, Dr. Manhattan. Dr. John Osterman was a lowly lab technician before he was caught in a radioactive particle test. He returned as a godlike superhuman. Manhattan is powerful and is highly intelligent, yet he grew to become emotionally distant towards people. He's also the only superhero with actual powers in the Watchmen storyline. Manhattan seems to have mastery over the manipulation of matter and energies around him, as well as an understanding of their makeup on the fundamental level. This control even extends to a complete control over his physical person, meaning that he's able to actually piece himself back together if he was ever destroyed. He's demonstrated such things as altering his size, displaying godlike strength, teleporting himself and other individuals wherever he wants. He can create copies of himself to act independently, turn intangible, and create environmental fields. Manhattan has shown the ability to manipulate matter and actually control things down to the atomic level. He's been able to create crystalline structures on Mars, create water, melt tanks, turn guns into steam, bullets to mercury, and a bottle into snowflakes. Dr. Manhattan also has the ability to remove an opponent's intrinsic field and disintegrate his targets. He also has a unique perception of time and can seemingly perceive all events that occur in his life simultaneously. Because of his unique perception of time, matter, and energy, he doesn't view humanity in the same way that we do, and he might even be incapable of normal human emotions. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, just to clarify here, we're going to be using the most powerful versions of both these characters, Dr. Manhattan from DC Rebirth and classic Doctor Strange. In DC Rebirth, it was revealed that he was basically the main guy behind the creation of the New 52 universe, as well as DC Rebirth. In addition to all that, Flash stated that he saw Manhattan directly tamper with the timeline while he was in the Speed Force. Then classic Doctor Strange is insanely powerful. He's defeated a hungry Galactus with a spell, defeated the In-Betweener, who was a celestial level being, and destroyed an entire dimension, all by himself. Not only that, but Strange has also broken the Living Tribunal's mystical bonds twice, and even matched Adam Warlock with the Infinity Gauntlet. Now this appears to be a very close fight, but on closer inspection, Dr. Manhattan doesn't have enough feats to prove that he can hang with classic Doctor Strange. And this is really my biggest problem with Manhattan. He's built up as this insanely powerful character, and we're supposed to treat him like a god. But in actuality, that might not really be the case. Like, let's take an actual look at what Dr. Manhattan has done, even the version of him that we saw in Rebirth. He atomized Pandora, who wasn't shown too much incredible durability, but does have a healing factor. He blasted Zoom, who's not even as tough as Spider-Man, and while he did atomize Metron the New God and Owlman sitting on the Mobius chair, neither of them are really known for their durability. Basically, at best, this is Silver Surfer level stuff. Classic Doctor Strange is much more powerful than that. But don't want to undersell Manhattan, as those aren't the only things that he's done. He also created the New 52 multiverse. But once again, not as impressive as it might first appear. You see, this feat was actually explained best in Action Comics, where Manhattan just went in and simply changed some bits of the past, like Jor-El surviving the explosion of Krypton, which caused a massive chain reaction and fundamentally changed the DC universe. This is basically the same thing as when Flash went and changed the past, creating the Flashpoint universe, except on a larger scale. Still, not as impressive as what Doctor Strange has done. And then while Manhattan was able to trap Mr. Mxyzptlk, we don't know exactly everything that went into that, and that's just one thing compared to Strange defeating Galactus, In-Betweener, destroying dimensions, stalemating Adam Warlock with the Infinity Gauntlet, and breaking out of the Living Tribunal's mystical bonds. There was even a time that when pre-retcon Beyonder was a bit drunk, he said that Doctor Strange could have rid him from the multiverse. Although that was said in a drunken stupor, still very impressive. At the end of the day, classic Doctor Strange has consistently proven that he is more powerful, and he's taking the victory here. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts, so sign off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe button. More videos just like this one every single day. And I'll see y'all next time.